In this video, I'm going to give you the 4 plays that we used last month to generate a 34x return on ad spend through our Facebook ad system alone. It's from the same exact system that we teach inside the Chiro Ads Academy, where we have over 160 docs right now across the United States that are crushing it with Facebook ads. And we're going to optimize the system and learn in real time at hyper speed. So if you like this content and this behind the scenes look, click the subscribe button. I want to grow this channel. Our mission here is to help chiropractors make more profit, reach more people, and change more lives. I hope you love this content. It's how we were able to generate tons of bookings while being out here with my family, doing what we love. They're right back there. So if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, comment. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the arena, where today I want to break down for you exactly how last month we generated a 34x return on investment from our in-house Facebook ad system alone. That means we spent $1,567 in ad spend, and we generated over $54,000 in return from Facebook ads alone. That's $34 to every $1 that we invested. And I just want to clear up some misconceptions. And first off, that it's difficult or challenging to actually run these systems in-house. And that couldn't be more untrue. With the right guidance, running your Facebook and Instagram ads in-house now is easier than ever. And there's a few reasons for that. And I'll continue to break that down and give you a deeper understanding of why. But I also want to clarify that there's a lot of digital marketing agencies out there right now that are showing up on your timelines that are touting an astounding 2-to-1 or 3-to-1x return on your investment, and they're giving you that guarantee to try to compel you into a trial of service so that they can then upsell you into their monthly retainer fees. But they are trying to depict running your ads in-house as a really complex system, and it's not. It's actually really easy whenever you understand the nuts and bolts, and you can take and copy and then paste a system into your practice so that not only you can save tens of thousands of dollars every single year on monthly retainer fees that you can then reinvest back into your marketing, but you can also generate outsized returns, because no one cares about your business as much as you do. No one cares about your message as much as you do, and no one can tell your story as well as you can. So I'll break down the 4 strategic plays that we used last month to generate that return, starting with number 1. We ran condition-specific marketing funnels. This is really important because a lot of people try to be vague and they try to create their marketing message as a catch-all. And one of the first principles of marketing is that if you market to everyone, you market to no one. And as the Facebook algorithm has started to change, messaging is now the new targeting. And what that means is that you have to hyper target your audience through your message. And the best way to do that is to get ultra specific with the problem that you solve. So regardless of whether you can solve multiple problems across the spectrum of your chiropractic practice, in your marketing messages and each of your marketing campaigns, you need to be ultra specific to a condition. So we first start with 3 conditions. That's what we started with last month. And then we will understand through the data what's working and what isn't, so that we can refine those conditions, and then we can move on to adding more conditions. So the 3 conditions that we started with was sciatica or low back specific, knee, and pregnancy. And I'll break down the why on all 3 of those. So with sciatica, really it's because most people self-diagnose themselves with sciatica, even if they just have low back pain, even if they just have a little bit of a tension pattern through their glute and hamstring. It's an overdiagnosed term. It's an overused term. However, we're playing to what the audience believes or understands about their symptoms. So we created a sciatica specific funnel. Now, in that funnel, we want to be ultra specific to the experience that they're having, the pain point that they're experiencing, and the problem that they're looking to solve. So in our ad messaging, we're going to identify that problem. We're going to identify us as the solution to that problem. We're going to offer some case studies or social proof around people that we've helped overcome that problem. And then we're going to give them a call to action. After we have compelled them through our advertisement to take action, we then squeeze them into a landing page. That's what a funnel is. There's my 11-month-old son joining the YouTube video. But that's what a funnel is you're taking this traffic from the top of the funnel and you're squeezing them down until ultimately you get them through the doors of your practice. So we get them into our landing page, and that landing page should be a carbon copy of the ad that you just compelled them to take action through. So again, it's going to outline the problem that you're looking to solve through the pain points that they have right now. It's going to position you as the solution. And then on that landing page, you're going to add as many testimonials or case studies that you can fit on the page, as many 5-star Google reviews, as many video testimonials, or as many chalkboard photos, anything that shows that there's real people inside of your office right now that have experienced the results that you're telling them that you can give them in order to compel them to claim your offer. Now, inside that landing page, there's also several other things that we do to increase conversion rate. One of them is that we're going to have big green claim your voucher buttons at almost every single scroll. We're going to make sure that there's a booking widget in there that gives them an option to send in an appointment request. And we're going to have tons of times available there to make sure that the times that we have available can fit into their schedule so that we can actually capture them as a lead. And if we have to go back and reschedule them, that's typically an easy process. Now, once they make it all the way through that conversion sequence, they claim their booking request, then my front desk and I get notified. Actually, every person on our team gets notified with a text message that tells us that a new lead has booked an appointment request, and we're promptly going to follow up with them with a very specific follow-up script that not only pre-frames them on the expectations that we have in our office and outlines all of the details of the process that they've just claimed, but we're also going to pre-qualify and make sure that what they're looking for is a long-term solution to their problem, because we provide custom corrective care programs that help them get from where they are, the problem that they have, to where they want to be, the solution, that desired state. And those range from 90 to 120 days. And typically we are very transparent about that on the phone call to make sure that they are vetted and they qualify themselves so that if they show up on day one, they're ready to go through that full consultation process. And then we're able to give them those recommendations on the back end and they become a corrective care patient of ours. Hey guys, I know you're enjoying this episode, but give me 1 second of your time. This is my shameless plug for the Chiro Ads Academy, where we're teaching docs how to bring their Facebook and Instagram ads in-house and generate repeatable, consistent new patients month after month without the headache and hassle of working with digital marketing agencies. It'll not only save you $30,000 a year, but it'll also give you outsized returns. It's the same exact system that we're running inside our 7-figure practice right now. And last month alone, we generated a 34x return on investment. We spent $1,567 in Facebook ad spend and generated over $54,000 from Facebook ads alone. This system is proven, it's tested, and has been installed in over 150 practices across the world, and it can be installed in your practice as well so that you can generate similar results. Click the link in the show notes to watch a free training where I break down every single step of the entire system. And if you like what you hear, book a call so we can see if this system will work in your practice. Click the link below and I'll see you on the inside. Thanks for your time. Back to the episode. Now, I want to provide some details on the knee and the pregnancy here. So with the knee, what we found, and the reason why we're running these knee specific ads, first off, we have SoftWave in our office. And so that's something that we've really been trying to drive more traffic to. And this has been a really successful way to do that. But what we also found is that Boulder, where I practice, is one of the hardest markets to market in the United States. And we've had so many different media agencies tell us that. And we actually experienced that. It's really challenging for us to drive as much traffic as we do through our Facebook ad system, which is why we've been forced to get so good at it. But one of the things that we've learned is that there's a difference between demographics and psychographics. Demographics psychographics is what people look like. And that's typically what most marketing agencies or most marketers target through, is like, what do these people look like? What are their hobbies? What is their income level? Are they married? Where do they spend their time? However, what we've found is the best type of targeting that you can do is targeting someone's psychographics, or targeting psychographics in general, which is what people believe. And here in Boulder, it's really tech heavy. There's been a lot of influence by big tech companies that have come in here and almost taken over the county of Boulder. And so what we have began to see work really well is actually adhering to the psychographics of the population. So we're actually messaging our soft wave out to athletes and trying to bring them in on a knee restoration protocol. And then once they're in our office, we're able to take that AP and lateral lumbopelvic along with our bilateral knee x-rays, and we're able to see complete disaster in their kinetic chains and work a lot of the problems that they have or the symptoms that they have in their knees up the kinetic chain, and show them how most of that knee pain is actually the result of pelvic unleveling or some type of stress accumulation that is actually being caused by a spine or lumbopelvic issue. And so we are then transitioning these specifically knee restoration protocol patients into our chiropractic care programs, while also adding in the soft wave therapy, which is what they came in for. So people believe heavily in technology now, and so we are leveraging that in our marketing message, and that is allowing us to get an outsized return. And then with pregnancy, it's very simple. It's similar to the sciatica. So we're just hyper targeting a specific demographic of people that have a current pain point or a current problem that they're experiencing, that we can position ourselves as the expert in and become the ultimate solution right now, driving them in for our pregnancy specific program. Again, we have pregnancy specific funnels, knee specific funnels, and sciatica specific funnels, where all of our social proof and case studies match that. So I know that was long-winded, but there's a lot there, and we'll continue to unpack it. The second thing that we did is we set up an AI response system. And if you're like me, you were really hesitant to actually incorporate or integrate AI into your practice or your life in general. And I totally get that. And Ryan, actually, our former CTO and now the co-founder of the ChiroAds Academy, was the person that actually had to persuade me to use AI in our systems. And now that I've seen what AI can do as a response system, I'll never go back to manual follow-up again. This AI system is incredible. And I have a quote here that says, "Automation is good so long as you know exactly where to put the machine." We figured out exactly where to put the machine in order to leverage AI. And it has not only increased our conversion percentage from prospect to lead, but it's also taken a ton of work and responsibility off of my staff and my team. And it's not emotional, and that's important. So we integrated now a trained AI booking bot, is what we call it, into our automation system that I already kind of walked you through what that funnel looks like. But if they do not convert through our booking widget on the landing page, then the AI bot actually waits a few minutes, and then it gives a prompt text message prompting engagement. And we've actually trained it to ask engaging questions and then to funnel the individual into a booked appointment. And actually, as I was writing my last letter from the trenches, which if you're not subscribed to, I'll leave a link in the show notes where you can subscribe to that newsletter. And it's where I'm demonstrating for you guys the things that are working now inside of our practice, or lessons that I wish I would have known to help you grow both personally and professionally, grow your practice. However, when I was writing that email, I actually had our Go High Level pulled up, and I was watching the AI take someone all the way through an objection-oriented question. So the question was, how much are the treatment sessions going to be after the initial session? And that's typically a question that can create a hang-up, especially if you have a human that's doing the follow-up. But the AI actually answered the question, attacked the question head on, and then funneled this person all the way into a booked appointment in a matter of minutes. And I watched this on my screen as I was writing my email. So it was just perfect timing. And I knew I had to emphasize this for you guys. If you're not using it, you should be. This is something that we have now incorporated or made accessible to all of the docs inside the ChiroAds Academy. And we've seen same level of proficiency and efficacy now across all of those docs and practices. People love it because, again, it takes pressure off of their staff members. It means they don't have to train their staff to be able to handle these questions all the time, and there is no emotional charge. So sometimes these people can be somewhat challenging in these conversations, and because the AI is not emotional, it always stays mission driven. So the mission is to answer the question, ask a leading question or an engaging question, and then funnel them into a booked appointment, and it never diverts from that strategy. So this is something that we've seen increase our conversion percentage from prospect to lead. And the next piece to that here, and key step or strategy number 3, is we implemented blue bubbles. Now, when we combined the blue bubbles with the AI booking bot, that's where we saw things really change from a nurture standpoint. Now, the blue bubbles is, first off, I'll provide context. Nobody likes to see text messages from green phones or green message sequences. And what that means is that they either have an Android or it's an automated system. And because automated systems are now so prevalent, people typically know that if you get a green text message, it's not from a human being. And if it is, it's from a highly inferior human being that needs to just get on board with the Apple iOS system because iMessage reigns supreme. But I digress. What this actually did whenever we implemented this software is it made all of the text messages that we sent from our software blue. So it humanized our AI booking bot, but it also humanized our automated sequence. So we can actually go in there and manually override and still send text messages now through our CRM. And when we're doing that, now it looks like we're messaging people from a personal phone. So we can actually give the AI booking bot a name, and we can have that person with a name now having a conversation from an iPhone to an iPhone, and it humanizes the entire experience. So that actually increases response rates. And Alex Hormozy actually stated they did research and they saw that using these blue bubbles actually increased response rates by 30%, which is a huge number. That's a number where it's one of those levers that you pull on where all you got to do is implement one of these softwares. And if you could increase your response rates by 30%, now you're increasing your return on investment by some astronomical number. So we implemented that, and it'll take a few months for us to get like the actual percentage data of how much it increased our response rates. But we saw an immediate uptick, which allowed us to drive more new patients actually into our practice, which means we had more opportunities at conversion, which means we had more opportunities to generate a return on the ad spend that we had spent. So blue bubbles, AI booking bot, and the condition specific landing pages were the top 3. And then our last one, which I just put at the very bottom because it's something that I always add in to these types of frameworks simply because it's what differentiates us. It's what sets us apart. You won't read or listen to a piece of content that I've written or stated or recorded without me talking about our kick-ass ad script or our professional video ad styles. And I think that one of the main reasons why we had so much success early on, even without understanding a lot of these other higher level marketing principles, is because we knew how to create ads. I read all these books back here on these shelves. I've got more books right here next to me, and I just took from outside the industry and learned how to craft a compelling ad structure. And I'll break that down for you very simply. We break it down into 5 parts here, okay? This is our kick-ass ad script or our kick-ass ad framework, but also used in any type of model across chiropractic. It doesn't matter what you do. This ad system can work for you, or this ad creation process can work for you. First, you need a captivating hook. You've got to capture people's attention within the first 0.3 to 1 seconds. Okay, if you can't capture their attention, then your message becomes noise. They scroll right past it and they don't even see all of the amazing stuff that you're able to do in your office and the amazing transformations that you've been able to provide for people. So first, a captivating hook. Second, we have to highlight the problem. We already went through that in our condition-specific funnel category, but you've got to highlight a pain point that they have right now. You've got to become relevant, okay, to them. That's the only way that this ad is going to target that individual. It doesn't matter if we know that every person with a spine needs to be checked and adjusted if they don't understand why chiropractic is relevant to them. Speak directly to the pain point and the problem that they're experiencing right this second. Next, you outline and position yourself as a solution. We do this in a simple 3-step process, or we have different ways that we do this, which makes it really simple and easy to understand. So we've hooked their attention. We've outlined a problem. Do you feel? Are you experiencing this? Is this experience limiting you from doing the things that you love to do? Insert hobby, insert activity. If it is, we've got a really simple 3-step solution. First, and then you outline your exam process. Second, you outline part of your treatment process. Third, outline a complementary component to your treatment process. I'm just kind of winging it here, going off the cuff, but you can make this really infinitely modifiable. And you can make sure that whatever you do in your office, that only you do in your area, or that you say what only you can say in your area, and you package it into a really easy to understand and digestible solution. And then you follow that up with case studies or social proof. So we want to make sure that they know that there are real people that have experienced the real results that you're promising inside of your practice. The final component to that is the compelling call to action. That's where you're going to give them a deal. And we know that you're not devaluing your care. First off, let's break that limiting belief. You're not devaluing your care by offering a discounted examination. What you're doing is creating an LBO, something that all the most successful businesses that have ever grown to scale or a size that matters uses. A low barrier offer. We want to decrease any barrier of entry and give them an offer that compels them to take action right now. Because we know that if you have a proper monetization system and you can actually provide an immense amount of value in your day 1 and day 2 and get them to sign on to your corrective care program, that's where you make your money. All right, so LBOs do not generate tire kickers. Poorly structured ad systems and funnel systems create tire kickers. That's why our conversion percentage on our Facebook ads last month was 88%. 88% of the people that came through our doors and showed up for a day 1 and a day 2 got converted to care. Now, tell me that Facebook ads create tire kickers with an 88% conversion percentage, $54,000 generated on $1,500 invested. Okay, the tire kicker idea that is floating around is absolute nonsense. It is a problem in your system, not a problem with the leads. Okay, and we can help you improve that if you have any interest. But that were the simple 4 strategic plays that we had that generated the 34x ROI last month. I know I went on a few tangents here, but that's the point of this long form content. I just want to be able to get this stuff out to you guys, get it out of my brain, and provide resources for you to kind of come and learn about what's working and why what we're doing is so effective. This is the exact ad system that has generated over $2 million in revenue inside of our practice alone over the past few years. And we have not had to outsource anything to an agency because this stuff is simple and effective. All you need is the system to install. Okay, this system can be installed into any practice and it will make you a lot of money and leave you with a lot of margin to then reinvest back into your practice so that you can scale your practice faster, so that you are in control of your growth. You can turn the dial at any time. You can create more new patients or less new patients, and it's all based on this system. So I'll end the video here today. And if you have any interest in learning more about this system, reach out to me. I'll leave a little link in the show notes, and you can go watch a free training where I actually have a presentation and I walk through every step of that process. If not, then I hope you enjoyed this resource. There are more to come, and I'm excited to provide them for you guys. Thanks for spending time with me today inside the arena, and I'll see you in the next one.